Are you struggling to grow anything because the moment that you plant it, the slaters get to it? Well, stick around and we'll show you an easy organic way to get rid of slaters in your garden. Hey, welcome to Perth Backyard Veg, where we show you how to live sustainably no matter your lot size. So what's our secret then? Skittles. Well, not quite, but an upcycled Skittles tub, and this will work with any upcycled tub that you like. We're looking for a similar size though. What we have here is the Skittles tub dug down into the garden bed so that the trap is at the soil level, and inside we have a bait that the slaters cannot resist. Inside this one we are using potato peels, but if you wait until the end we will show you an even better bait and talk about the pros and cons of using that one. Now that we've got this empty, we're just going to put it back in its place and add some potato peels as the bait. The slaters will be drawn to this and they will come along the soil and fall into these slits that we've made into the tub, trapping them inside. Then we'll show you how you can set up your own one using a different tub down the other end of this garden bed. Putting the lid back on to keep out the rain and to make it nice and dark in there so that they can be hidden. You'll often find slaters sitting underneath leaves because they like to hide. Alright, we're at the other end of the bed and we're going to be setting up a new trap. We've got 2 traps set up down there and the plants are growing wonderfully. But some of the seedlings down here are starting to get nibbled on, so it's the perfect time to show you how to set up a brand new trap. So here we have an empty 1 kilo butter tub and a box cutter. So I've taken the lid off to make this a little bit easier, but we're going to be cutting some slits around the top like this. We want to make a rectangular cut near the top of the lid, leave a bit of a gap, ideally a little bit more than that, and then make another one. So I'm going to leave a bit of a bigger gap this time. I'm only going to have a small section of the blade sticking out so that it is nice and safe, and then I'm going to gently push the point of the blade through the plastic and then slowly glide it along to cut out our rectangle. Now that the point of the blade has gone through, we're just going to slowly drag it away from us. Perfect. Pull the blade out, and then we're going to make a cut down both of those sides and then along, or if you prefer you can do the parallel cut first and then the 2 side cuts. Actually, I'm going to do that one. Okay. So not quite parallel, but they don't need to be perfect, but I've got the 2 cuts there. Now I'm just going to do these 2 downward cuts to take the piece out. I've got 3 cutouts along the top edge, and I'll just need to do about 3 or 4 more to get the full way around. We've got our trap finished, all of the holes are cut around the edge here, and we've even dug a hole the same size as the tub to fit our trap into. So we're going to place it nice and snugly in there so that the openings in the tub line up with the soil level. That will mean that the slaters can go right into there really easily. Now, the question is, how do we get the slaters to go in there? We have 2 bait options that we like to use. The first one is potato peelings. These kitchen scraps are not only readily available, especially if you're like us and like to eat a lot of potatoes, but they help reduce food waste too. We'll pop them into the container, spread them in a nice layer and pop the lid on, and then the slaters will be attracted to the smell of the potato peels and crawl inside the tub and then be unable to escape. The second option is actually olive oil and soy sauce, and there's a couple of reasons why we don't use this anymore, but if you want to get rid of the slaters quickly, this is definitely the better option. They are way more attracted to this than they are the potato peels. We had our 2 traps down the other end, one set up with the potato peels, one set up with this mixture, and this one got way more slaters in the same amount of time. So you add a layer of oil and then a little bit of the soy sauce, and the slaters will come flocking. Now there's 2 main reasons why we don't use this anymore. Number 1 is from a waste perspective. Like we said with the potato peels, they're a readily available product, so we're not creating any additional waste by using them. They'd already be going into the compost or the landfill depending on where you put your food scraps. With the oil and soy sauce, we would be putting it in our food, we would be eating it, so we're creating an extra waste source. When we go to empty these ones, we still actually put it in our compost because it's only a small amount of oil in the entire compost system. We're fine with adding little bits like that, but it would not have ended up in the compost in the first place if we didn't use it in the trap. The second reason we no longer use this system is because it actually smells quite bad. When the slaters fall in, they suffocate and they die. When they fall into the potato peel one, they're just in there having a grand old time eating the potato peels. The smell of the decomposing slater is actually quite potent. Now, I'm not sure if it's creating some kind of reaction with the oil and the soy sauce, or because it's anaerobic, because it's got that oil layer stopping the decomposition reaching the air. But once we mixed it to swirl it around and have a look how many there were in there, it released this really revolting smell, and we decided to just stick to the potato peels. But I'm going to set this one up for you so that we can come and check in a couple of days. I'm going to reset the tub over there with new potato peels and do this one, and in a couple of days we'll see the comparison between the two. I'm going to put some oil in here. You want to at least cover the bottom of it, maybe 1/2 centimetre to 1 centimetre if you can, and then just a little bit of soy sauce in there. There's maybe 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon in total. Alright, so we're going to pop the lid on this one. I'm going to go and reset the other one with the potato peels, and we'll see you again in a couple of days. Alright, it's the next day and we're already back because, as you can see in the footage here, we have caught a ton of slaters just overnight. It's been less than 24 hours and we have already trapped so many of these pests and saved our veggies. So the olive oil and soy sauce mix definitely seems to work better, attracts the slaters more effectively, more quickly. We've already got a thick layer of slaters at the bottom of this tub, whereas we don't have a full layer in the other tub. But like I said, there are some pros and cons that you've got to outweigh with these two options. Right now this one doesn't smell, but as those slater bodies start to break down, it does create quite a foul odor once it comes to the surface of the oil. But I've swirled this one around and there's no odor coming out of it yet, but we will normally leave our traps in place for at least a week before we change them over. And there you have it, the secret weapon to stopping slaters from munching on your garden. Simply using an upcycled tub like this one and some potato peels or an oil and soy sauce mixture, you can effectively protect your plants while promoting a healthy and organic garden. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone if you think they'll find it helpful too. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to Perth Backyard Veg for more organic gardening tips and tricks. Together we can create beautiful, thriving gardens and reduce our food waste. Thanks so much for watching and happy gardening.